So Justin, you're absolutely a world-class channel proponent out there. You've been dealing with many, many types of partners out there globally. Would you mind sharing some of the insights on, as we, in the smack middle of COVID and kind of get out this COVID, and as we wrap up fiscal 2020, calendar 2020, and as we get into 2021, what are some of the things partners are trying to do to build their business, focus areas, and what are you hearing out there? Just 4 or 5 key themes you're hearing. That'll be helpful for our partners.
Yeah, so I think, obviously every partner is a little different, but I do think there are some common, sort of themes that run through both the challenges they face and the way I think that they should be thinking about, how do COVID or no COVID? Let's take COVID off the table. Certainly COVID's a near-term problematic issue, and it's created its own set of issues, but irrespective of that, I think there are a few key things that the management teams of service providers should be thinking about. And none of them are rocket science, but I do think it's worth talking about a little bit. The first is the service portfolio that you are offering. I think things are getting commoditized faster than people think they are. And I'm not suggesting that MSP model is commoditizing. The components of it are, certain capabilities are, but is your service portfolio modernized, right? And the answer is probably going to be not all of it. Mm-hmm. And the good news is that's not a reason to panic, but what of it is not modernized? Right. And one of the litmus tests I think that a service provider could apply to that is, if I were to go into a mid-market customer and sell into IT, sell to the CIO, sell to the CEO, what is she going to ask me? What is the value she's going to ask me to deliver? Right. And if there are gaps in that service portfolio that you have that you believe would not maybe be valuable enough, then that's something to take a look at. Yeah. And it's irrelevant what those gaps might be, but look at your service portfolio. Is it modern? Does it have the right technologies in it? Do you have the breadth of technologies? Do you have a service proposition around that? Are you able to solve for problems? Those types of questions on the service portfolio. That's number one. Number two is, what is your growth strategy? And this is the classic chicken and egg. Yeah. You can go get new customers or you can grow existing customers. Right. Most companies, and we've had our challenges here too, so I'm not calling anybody's baby ugly because we've had ugly babies, but there's a lot of growth opportunity in existing customers by evolving your value proposition to them, helping them understand what else you can do for them. Yeah. I think people overlook that. They may be servicing a customer satisfaction might be important, but they may not be actively trying to find new ways, new business without trying to sell them something. Go in and understand their business and find out if there are other problems they're having that you can solve. Yeah. And if you don't have the right relationship, that's hard. So that's one. The second is new clients. Do you have a value proposition in new clients? Can you go up market? Do you have the right stuff to do that? So look at both of those things. New business and existing customers is a lot cheaper to get than new business and new customers. Totally agree, yeah. And that leads to the profitability equation. Do you understand your EBITDA? Do you understand your margin on your service business? Is it where you want it to be? The good news is it may not be. The bad news is it may not be. The good news is there's ways to address that, pretty effective ways, and we help partners do that a lot. So that's another one. How are your technical resources being utilized? Okay. A lot of times they have big service teams. They've got their NOC, they've got a SOC, they've got a security team. Understand what those people are spending their time on, specifically the really high-priced technical resources. They're your highest cost resources. They're your most valuable resources. They get frustrated easily if they're not doing the right work. Understand what those folks are doing. Right. What is it costing you to deliver service? It's not just add up the salaries and that's what it costs. It's what time, what problems are being resolved by what people.
Right.
It's really important to understand that. And that leads to profitability and better EBITDA and things like that. And then last, I think, if you're not already, open your mind to what we call it functional sourcing.
Yeah.
The good news is all of these issues that I just mentioned are addressable.
Yeah.
Where people struggle, service providers struggle, is if they feel they have to address them all themselves,
Right.
all internally.
Yeah.
I got that. You've got an operational VP or an operations leader that I built this from scratch. I'll handle it. I'll resolve all those problems.
Yeah.
Be more open-minded to bringing in help and to at least examine the problem and make suggestions. It's not necessary, nor is it optimal in most cases, to resolve everything yourself.
Right.
Bring in a world-class partner and talk to them. Is it a tooling problem?
Yeah.
Do you need to revamp your tools? Is it a process problem? Is it a technical skill gap, right? What are the issues and how would you solve those while you still maintain complete control of the client, complete control of the customer experience? I think the more savvy, more growth-minded leaders of service providers are thinking in that way.
Right.
I'm not going to try and do everything myself. I don't have, those days are gone.
Yeah.
The IT organizations I'm serving are complex. I need to have complex response capabilities. So those are the things that I would suggest as you do that. If the leadership teams are sitting there and they're struggling with some of those questions, have a discussion about that. You'd be surprised what assistance might be out there to help you.
That's great.
That's kind of my feeling.
Yeah, I think well said.
Yeah.